Hello, Brian Turner here again, and welcome to our ACE Barre Chord System, number 6, lesson number 6, minor chords. Okay, so I'm sure most of you already know some minor chords, but what if somebody asks you, what is a minor chord? The answer most people probably give, well, a minor chord is this. I'll just show you how to play one, but that doesn't answer the question, what is a minor chord? So let's see if I can answer that question. Well, we already know that a major chord is the three intervals 1, 3, and 5. Now, I haven't mentioned this in the past videos, but whenever you say a 1, 3, 5, that 3 is also referred to as a major third. See, the distance of two whole steps, like from C to D, that's a whole step. Let me do it on my guitar. C to D is a whole step. That's from the 1 to the 2. And D to E is a whole step. That's the distance from the 2 to the 3. So a major third is the distance of two whole steps. From C to E is what we call a major third. Now, when you flat the third, that's a step and a half away from you. So you have C to D is a whole step, and D to E flat is a half a step. So whenever you have a major third, whenever you have a third, we call that the major third. And when we flat that third, it's called a minor third. Well, both the major chord and the minor chord, or let me say the major triad, the minor triad, a three-note chord, they are defined by that third interval because both of them have a root and a 5, right? The major has a root 3 and a 5. The minor has root flat 3 and a 5. Well, the major has a major third, and a minor chord has a minor third or a flat third. So that's how we get that's how we define a major and a minor chord. So a major chord has a root, a major third, and a 5. A minor chord has a root, a minor third, also known as a flat third, and a 5. All right, so that's how you would define what a minor chord is. So having said that, we're gonna go through here and we're gonna do just like we've been doing with the other videos. We're gonna show you 3 ways to make every minor chord, and I'm gonna start with the hardest one. The hardest one just happens to be the one that's closest to the nut. So here we have a C. You know the C already, right? So the major third is right there, the 4th string, 2nd fret. I'm going to bring it down, and now I've got minor. And I've got to catch that 2nd string, 1st fret. Now, so there you go. You should see a picture of it. So there you go. That's a C minor chord. Now, that chord is difficult, and I'm gonna be frank with you. You're probably not going to use that as much as you do the other ones, but you will use it, and you need to know how to play it. But to tell you the truth, more times than not, instead of me playing all 4 of those notes like that, I might leave out a note. I might leave out the 2nd string where it's not as hard. I just hit 3 strings. See? Or I might leave out the 5th string and just hit the 4, 3, 2. So there you kind of have 2 for the price of 1. You have a little 3 notes C minor, and then you have another 3 notes C minor. But you do want to be able to play all 4 notes. It's not that hard. Most people struggle with it in the beginning, but once you do it a few times. So there you go, C minor. So that's going to be our first one. So having said that, we're going to see a graphic right now. We're going to go through 3 ways to make every minor chord, just like we did in the previous videos. So starting with the one that's related to this one, C major, C minor, right here. Then up here, you remember we have C major, flat my 3rd, C minor. Up here, C major. There's the 3rd on the 3rd string. Bring it down. You have a C minor. So you see where I'm getting those? I'm just taking the majors and flatting the 3rd. That's all I'm doing. So don't do that again. C minor, C minor, C minor. Okay. Now we're going to have F. Remember, we're taking the cycle of fifths. We're going to go counterclockwise. We're at the F. We're going to start with the root on the 6th string. There's F major, but now we have F minor. Then we come up here. Now remember we had F major like this. But look, this is again, this is going to be the tricky one. There's your root note. You're going to do a C minor like this. See, now let's talk about that one for a minute. So let's look at what's going on there. There's the F major. I've got a root, 3, 5, root, and a 3. I can hit the first string also. But on this, I'm going to do away with the first string because it's just in the way. So what I'm going to flat my 3rd, which is this note right here. There's a flat 3rd. I'm going to put my number 2 finger there, 1st finger here, and 3rd finger there, and then your pinky up here. There's your F minor. Now I know that's tricky, like I was saying a while ago. Again, you can break that down into 2 chords. I might just hit the 2, 3, and 4 string. I might just hit the 5, 4, and 3. Or I might hit them all together. See, I know that's kind of tricky. But honestly, more times than not, you'll get a little 3-note chord like that. And then you have the F minor up here on the 8th fret. Remember we had an F major, flat your 3rd. There's F minor. So let me go over the F minors again. F minor here, F minor here, and F minor here. Okay, that brings us to B flat. B flat major, flat my 3rd, B flat minor. Then up here, B flat major, flat the 3rd, B flat minor. Up here, way up here on the 10th fret, B flat major, flat my 3rd, B flat minor. Okay, that brings us to E flat. So here's E flat minor, E flat minor, E flat minor. Okay, that brings us to A flat. A flat minor. That's on the 4th fret. Then way up here on the 8th fret, A flat minor. Back to the hard one again. Then put your 1st finger on the 11th fret, A flat minor. Remember that one? Major, minor. So let's do that again. A flat minor, A flat minor, A flat minor. And that brings us to D flat minor. D flat minor. That one's a stretcher there. You get extra credit if you can do that. D flat minor. But if you can't, break it down to a 3-note chord. See, I leave out the pinky, or I leave out the 2nd string. Either way, whichever's comfortable for you. But if you can get all 4 of them, it's good for you. And there's your root note. Put my 1st finger on the root note, and we're back to this one. D flat minor, 9th fret, D flat minor. So let's go over those again. D flat minor, D flat minor, D flat minor, D flat minor, D flat minor. That brings us to G flat. G flat minor, G flat minor, G flat minor, G flat minor, G flat minor. That brings us to B. B minor, B minor. Way up here on the 11th fret, B minor. Back to the 7th fret, B minor. Back to the 2nd fret, B minor. That brings us to E. We can use an open E minor. We all know that chord, E minor. Up here on the 4th fret, we have the difficult, the hard one. See, E minor, see, E minor up on the 7th fret. E minor. I hate to call it hard because once you do it a few times, it's not hard. E minor, back to E minor. I say it's hard, it's going to psych you out. It's not really that hard. It's just harder than the others. Okay. Then that was E. Now we have A. We're starting off with an open chord, A minor here. There's an open chord, A minor. Up on the 9th fret, A minor. Back to the 5th fret, A minor, A minor, A minor, A minor. That brings us to D. D minor on the 2nd fret, 5th fret, D minor, 10th fret, D minor, 5th fret, D minor. And that brings us last but not least to the G minor. G minor, 3rd fret, and then we're up here on the 7th fret, then on the 10th. 7, 3rd fret, G minor, 7th fret, 10th fret, 7th fret, G minor. There you go. There's your minor. There's your minor chords. Okay. So that takes care of that. Again, if you want to see the PDF, just look down here below, and you can see, visualize, and you can print out the PDF there if you like. So next we're going to have minor sevenths. That will be number 7, and then number 8 will be minor 6, and that will be all of this series, which is all your essential chords there. So I'll see you at the next one. Bye.